Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. I hope everybody's doing really well and having a great day, and that we're ready to get started. I am a little bit late, but I had warned you all. I had to go get my oil changed today, and it was time consuming, because it always is for some reason at dealerships. You know, places like Jiffy Lube can get your oil done in like 15 minutes, and then the dealership takes over an hour. But we knew that was going to happen. I kind of set up the stream for that to happen today, so I'm not too concerned about it. I feel okay about it, but I hope everybody's doing really well and that you're all having a really good day. I just want to fix this because it feels like it's way too dark. I don't know why, but it does. It's a little bit better. Anyways, yeah, I was just making my tea. That's why the just starting screen was a bit longer than usual, because I am feeling better, but I woke up with a cough, which is really weird. I didn't expect that to be a thing, because I feel better. I don't feel all gross, but I have a cough now all of a sudden. Hello, Jack. How you doing? Welcome. Now, it may be a bit of a quiet stream today because I am starting a little bit later than usual. I'm usually live about an hour and a half before now, so it may be a quiet stream the whole stream. It may be quiet just for the first little while until things kind of pick up. Who knows? I have no clue. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I don't really have anything else going on. Nice. I hope you had a really good time with Elden Ring. I still haven't beaten it, and I have no interest in doing so. But outside of that and the cough, I'm feeling pretty good. My hip is in pain, and I have like a sciatic nerve thing with my leg. It's acting up today, which isn't fun. But nothing new or crazy about it. Just not fun. But outside of that, I'm doing really well, you know. Like I said, I got up, I took my car to get its oil changed, and I got home and literally like went right on stream and just made my tea just so I could kind of hopefully soothe my throat a little bit. And it's really hot though, so I gotta wait a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna play some Minecraft today, only because it's a little bit less stressful, and because the stream is gonna be shorter today. I didn't want to start something and end up getting absorbed for multiple hours. So the stream is only gonna be like 2 or 3 hours long. It's not gonna be super long today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I was just thinking Minecraft just because it's a bit less strenuous. How's it going, Preston? How are you? I hope you're doing well, Preston. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so for TikTok, you can't see this, and there's not really anybody on Twitch right now. But I want to add it on YouTube. I just don't remember how. So that's a thing. But on Twitch, I did add a new emote, which is pretty cool. You know, makes me happy. I edited one of my own emotes, and I don't think I made this one free. I made the raid one free. But I don't know if you'll be able to see it on screen on everything, but I now have me confused with a map, seeing as I constantly get lost, and it's something that Merle likes to make fun of me for. So I did that, so that way I can, you know, have an emote that people can use when they're subbed. I am going to make a command for it, so that way, not for the emote, but like I have something planned for a command that I want to do. So that's in the works. I haven't had the time yet. But I will be doing it. I'll get these likes. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's definitely there's a big difference with Elden Ring versus all the other Soulsborne games. So people who like Soulsborne games may not always like Elden Ring, but if it hits you in the right place, it's obviously a really good game. It just doesn't hit me in the right place. I just don't like that type of game. So it's kind of the same thing with like Skyrim. I just don't like that kind of game, so I don't enjoy it, even though it's one of the most popular games. Which I felt a little bit vindicated because I was watching the review for Life of P, which is supposed to be like a Bloodborne style game. And the first thing the reviewer I was watching said was, this is a great palate cleanser after Elden Ring, if that's not your type of game. I was like, oh, thank God somebody else agreed with me. It was really nice to hear that because, yeah, I'm just not a fan. I don't like it. So it's nice to see that there are companies still making games a la original Bloodborne style. So excited about that. It's so hot, this tea. But yeah. I think my camera didn't save the settings from yesterday because I just noticed that it says 4K on the top there, and it might shut off. I hope it doesn't, but it might. So I'm hopeful. We'll see. If it shuts off, I'll have to restart it and try to set the settings, but I don't want to mess with it right now. But I will open the battery compartment. Maybe that'll let a little bit of heat out. I don't know. Michael Jackson, how's it going? Welcome. I just started, Michael Jackson. Like, the stream started 12 minutes ago, but I just sat here about 5 minutes ago. Yeah, like, I get why people like Skyrim. A lot of people like the really open world where you can just kind of have your own adventures, do your own thing. That's just not my cup of tea. I like games that are much more structured. I like games that tell me a story and tell me where to go and what to do. You know, I like games that are very much, here is your quest point, and that is very easy to find and you can just do that. Whereas I found that Skyrim was really hard to figure out what the main quest line was versus like side quests, and sometimes it felt like a side quest but it turns out it was actually part of the main quest, or a side quest felt like it was supposed to be a main quest but it was just a side quest at the end of it. Like it was really hard for me to follow. But even if I could get past that, because Starfield is a little bit like that, but I can still get past it. But the mechanics were just so broken in Skyrim and in Fallout, where like you swing your sword and it doesn't feel like the Bloodborne Dark Souls style game where you like, when you hit something, it feels like the weapon you're using is not only heavy, but it feels powerful. Whereas like Skyrim, it just feels like you're moving in slow motion. It doesn't feel heavy and it doesn't feel powerful. So like there's not even a satisfactory conclusion to the battling. It just feels like you're hitting a button over and over again, and there's just a slow animation of swinging swords or like hitting them with an arrow, but you don't actually feel like you've done anything, which to me is the one reason that Skyrim is a worthless game, and so have pretty much all of Bethesda's games been until now, because now I feel much more connected with Starfield, because when I shoot my gun in Starfield, I actually feel like there's damage being done and it's not just completely randomized, which is what it's always been. So I'm a much more big fan of Starfield. It's my first Bethesda game I've actually enjoyed. Imperative. I've got the boost pack now, so thankfully I figured it out. Well, I appreciate that, Michael Jackson. I'm glad you enjoy being here. Yeah, it's just it can just really pull you out when you're supposed to be like this epic warrior, and then you swing your sword and it just feels like you're moving something in slow motion. And it never feels like it connects with the bad guy. You see the animation, but you don't feel like in Dark Souls and all that, where you feel like you actually hit something, like the weapon almost stops, or when you miss, you feel like your momentum continues because the weapon is so heavy. Whereas on Skyrim, it just feels like a generic animation, and whether you make contact or not, the animation's exactly the same. So it just feels like you're attacking in slow motion, which kind of just defeats the whole purpose. You know, and I think that also might explain why the most common character style for Skyrim is like the thief archer, because that's the only thing that feels somewhat competent in the mechanics. I'm just not a fan of Skyrim. I've tried so many times. The only time I enjoyed Skyrim was in VR, and I've tried going back to it, and that was when I first played VR ever. And then I tried going back to it, and I can't get into it now because I've played a lot of proper VR games that weren't lazy phone-in games like Bethesda has done. And now going back to those broken mechanics is kind of like, yeah, I don't want to play this. It's so not good, and I don't want to have to put in like 12 mods for it to be a half decent VR game. But that was the only time I ever enjoyed it, was playing it in VR. And I think VR had a lot to do with it. But to each their own, right? There are people that absolutely love it. You know, Alana was obsessed with Skyrim and she played hours and hours and hours. Like we're talking like 3,000-4,000 hours in Skyrim type of idea. I just could never get into it. I think I probably spent a total of like 20 hours and it was 20 hours in VR and it was just more the astonishment of being in VR. But then after I lost the appeal because I found other games that were way more exciting in VR, I very quickly lost interest. There's so much platform you can't do without it. Yeah, I've noticed that. It also just makes it easier. You don't have to walk around something. You can just go over it, which I'm really liking. But yeah, no, I figured out the whole boost thing. I don't know why it wasn't working at first. It just suddenly started working again. So I don't know what happened. Maybe it was a glitch. Who knows? What is with this cough? Preston, I'm so worried. This cough has started. It started last night or like early this morning. And now it's getting worse. And my audition's in 2 days. Like not tomorrow or the next day, but on Thursday. If I'm coughing up a storm, how am I gonna sing? It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be so bad. I mean, I can push through it for a 30-second clip, but I know I'm gonna like break into a coughing fit after those high notes. So lame. So lame. Why'd I have to get sick? Okay, let me just get this all started before I open up the screen. Just watching people play without talk, and all I do is talk and don't play. There's people that get bored because I never play, but I'm glad you enjoy it, Michael Jackson. I'm glad you enjoy it. Full screen projection. Super Hot VR is still one of the most enjoyable things I've ever played. No worries, Jack. I appreciate you being here, and Super Hot is really good. It's actually a really fun game. Have yourself a great day. Thanks for being here, and thank you for hitting those likes for me. Have yourself a great day. I hate this cough. Okay. So like I said, it's probably going to be a really quiet stream today because one, it's Minecraft, and two, I'm starting really late. And it's probably going to lead to a fairly quiet chat today, which like I'm fine with it, but just giving you all a heads up. It's also going to be a fairly short stream. You know, it's probably only going to be like 2 hours, maybe. It could go a little bit longer if I really get like hooked on something that I'm doing in the game, but I doubt it. So probably only about 2 hours. And then tomorrow's stream should be normal. And then same with Wednesday. And then Thursday, I have my audition. So, and I don't stream that day, so that's perfect. But yeah, and tomorrow I'll probably do Resident Evil. I'm just not doing Resident Evil today because it involves setting up a bunch of extra stuff and being physical. And I worked this morning, and then I only slept like 4 hours, and I had to go to the dealership, and now I'm here. So like, I just don't have energy. That's the main reason. I just don't have energy. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, being sick can be frustrating. Thankfully, I didn't get like insanely sick. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Thankfully, I'm not insanely sick. Like I felt really sick for like a day, and it wasn't even as bad as I normally feel. It was just kind of like, I feel really gross. But a big part of it was the medication I took, like the cold and flu stuff that I took. That made me feel worse. But I feel fine. Now it's just this stupid cough. I'm still stuffed up a little bit. I've been using a neti pot, which has helped, but right now I'm stuffed up. But I think that might also be allergies because I was outside. But more than anything, this cough. And it's just starting. I'm really worried it's going to get worse tomorrow and the next day. And if it's really bad by Wednesday, then Thursday I'm in a lot of trouble for my audition. For those who don't know, I have an audition. It's just community theater. It's nothing serious. I'm just trying to get back into it. But I haven't really sang musical stuff in a few years, since before the pandemic. So I would like to do well, but if I'm sick, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to do my best and hope for the best. It's tea, Michael Jackson. It's tea. I had coffee. I had half a coffee this morning. I threw out half of it because I was in such a rush. I didn't want it. Okay, so music off. Let me just make sure it's actually playing before I open it up on screen for all of you. And then we should be good. I was trying to figure out how to turn on ray tracing, and I couldn't figure it out. I got to spend more time trying it because I would like to have some kind of ray tracing graphics, but it seemed way too complicated to do it in a very short time. So too bad. No ray tracing. I'm enjoying my tea. It's gonna be delicious. Okay, so we did get some diamonds. I forgot. We got some diamonds. So the good thing is now I can make a diamond pickaxe. I would like to get a few more diamonds. Because I would like to get like a sword and stuff, but I think I have enough to make an enchantment table. I just need some lava. And I accidentally did not bring... Oh no, I did bring the bucket. I just didn't grab the lava because we were kind of stuck. I'm gonna need glass though, and I'm going to need... Oh, what's that thing called? The stalactite thingy. The dripstone. I'm gonna need dripstone. Tea is really good. I like coffee too, but tea is definitely very good. It's pretty yummy. And I can make a cauldron after, so that's gonna be good. I'll need a cauldron, and I need glass, and and a the dripstone, and then that should give me a lava farm. Man, this music is so emotional. Actually, no, I'll just leave it off for now. I'll turn it on in a bit. I think I fed the cows, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So we've got babies as much as we can get. The farm is almost ready to be farmed. Yeah, so nothing too exciting on the stream today, folks. Like I said, I only slept about 4 hours, so I'm exhausted. I have zero energy to dedicate towards doing anything too exciting today, and it's a short stream anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. But I'm just giving you all a heads up because I do feel bad that I'm not streaming as long as I normally would, but I don't want to push myself and make it a miserable stream either. Hello, Near. How was school? How's it been now that you're back in school? Actually, I don't know. Have you been back for a while now? I don't know. Here in Canada, they just started a few weeks ago. Okay, so I definitely need some sand. I feel like the resolution's kind of low. Alright, so sand. There's lava over there. I wonder if I can reach the lava piece over there. Let's see. For a little bit over a month. Okay, so not too new, but you haven't been there for forever. I hope your school year is going well, though. I think that's like the only thing I do miss, you know, as far as like we were talking about this last stream where I was saying I miss like the things like flirting and not having responsibilities and like being allowed to just like worry about the way that I'm dressed and make sure I'm like watching the right things and listening to the right songs and all that. That like irresponsible part of being a teenager, I miss that. But what I really miss is the stuff like getting excited for school trips and the first day back at school, seeing all my friends after not seeing them all summer. Like those things, I miss those things. That was really nice about school. Okay, so now I gotta get back up. Why does it have to be shaped this way? Just let me up. Just let me up. Come on. It's basically college. The other parts aren't worth it. Yeah, there's definitely some not so fun parts, but honestly, Near, enjoy it. Because people say they're the best years of your life, and there are people that disagree, and that's totally fair. At the same time, they are the best parts of your life because you have zero responsibility. Like any real responsibility, you know. Yeah, you have to do homework and stuff, but that's nothing compared to knowing that like if you don't do your part of the responsibility in your household, then you all starve and end up homeless. That's not very fun, you know. Like I had the day off yesterday, and I had the whole day off, and that's great. But I also had to do laundry. I had to do dishes. I had to clean my beds, like all my bedding and stuff. I have to do all that. I had to do all that. I had to wash the bathroom. And so by the time I was done streaming and finished all those responsibilities, it was 11:30 at night, and I had to be up at 4:30 to go to work. So like I had zero time to actually enjoy my day off. And that's the part that makes like your school years the best years of your life, is where by the time you realize how much easier it is than it is when you're an adult, it's too late. It's way too late. Because I used to think the same thing of like, you know, I've got responsibilities, there's a lot of pressure, I don't want to fail, I want to make the right decisions and blah, blah, blah. But it's so meaningless compared to once you're an adult, because once you're an adult, it's like live or die type of level. It really sucks sometimes, you know? Like I've been sick. I wish I could take like 4 or 5 days off and just relax while I'm sick. But if I don't work, I don't get paid. If I don't get paid, they repossess my car and kick me out of my apartment. So no choice. This is the sad moment to peek at. Like, there are things that are going to be better when you're older. Like, my life overall got better in my 30s. Like, in my late 20s, early 30s, my life got better overall. Because there are definitely things that are really nice once you reach, like, a mature adult. Not like 18, you're an adult. I mean, like, a proper mature adult. There are definitely things that are really nice. Like, all the crap that's behind me, I couldn't have done that when I was in high school. I couldn't have done that as a kid. I can only do it now as an adult. The level, not that I'm confident, but like how comfortable I am in my own skin didn't come until I was in my 30s. Like that stuff 100% is so much better now that I'm an adult. Having adult money to do what I want, definitely better. But there are definitely parts that will never ever come back, and you are going to regret being so negative about being a teenager when you're older. Because like I said, there's some stuff that I will never ever be able to do again. And it really sucks. Like, be able to dedicate myself to like auditions and rehearsals and all that stuff. I'll never be able to dedicate myself 100% to just pursuing a dream because I have bills and responsibilities. Or like dating. Not that everybody dates in high school or in college, but just like the possibility of it happening is very different than it is now as an adult. Like I said this yesterday, I don't see a single other person except for my brother for days on end. Like there have been a couple of weeks where all I've seen is my brother. I'm not exactly going to meet the woman of my dreams when I only see my brother. Right? So like those things, I'll never get that back. And that kind of sucks. Or like the variety you get being a teenager. Like, yeah, school is repetitive, but there's always something new in your life, whether it's, you know, the next semester has different classes or you meet new people because a new student comes in or whatever. Once you reach a certain age, you work at a place, you see the same faces, you do the same thing, and you go home and do the exact same thing every single day. And because you have responsibilities, you can't even go out and do exciting things unless you're really wealthy. You can't go out and do exciting things. You literally go home and do nothing. And so like, enjoy those parts. Enjoy those parts. You're still young in a way. I am still young, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not an old man, but I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm not a kid. I'm not even in my 20s anymore. Because even at 20, 25, 27, you can still do quite a bit and still be fairly irresponsible. But like, I've got a car loan worth multiple thousands of dollars. And I've got my rent for this place. And I've got a full-time job. And I've got my mom now that I have to kind of keep an eye out for. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's different. Chungasi, I think is what it said. How are you? Thank you. Hello. So, like, even though I'm young, because, yeah, I've still hopefully got another 40 years ahead of me, I'm no longer a young, immature kid. So I can't get away with being a young, immature kid. Whereas, like, even 10 years ago, I could have. I can't anymore. That's why the poet's life is the life for me. Honestly, if you have the opportunity to do that, do it. I lived the artist life for a while, and it wasn't anything I was proud of when it came to like where I lived and how my home looked and all that kind of stuff. But it was everything that I wanted. Like I was poor when I was living as an artist. I was really poor. I remember I sold half my stuff when I was an artist because I needed to make rent and I didn't have the money. And so like I sold a bunch of stuff while I was being an artist. I I I ate Jamaican patties every day from the corner store that were like $1. That's what I was eating for meals. There were days where I wouldn't eat because I couldn't afford to buy food. It sucked. I lived in a bachelor apartment, like right downtown, where you had like, I had prostitutes picking guys up like at my front door because it was an old storefront that they converted to an apartment. And so like my front window was like one of those storefront glass panels, so it wasn't soundproof at all. And we had like a little insert for where our entrance was. So like they would stand there in the winter and like proposition guys, and I could hear them because my bed was right next to the door since it was a bachelor. And like that's where I lived. We got infested with fleas because some guy moved in with his dog and his dog was infested with fleas. So the whole apartment got infested with fleas. It was horrible. And like I said, I had no furniture. I had no like fun electronics, nothing. None of that I was proud of, but I got to audition whenever I felt like. I got to, go out and try things and spend all day at rehearsals if I wanted to. I got to take like dance lessons and singing lessons, and there was no responsibility. So like living the life of the artist was maybe not something that other people would be like, wow, that's cool. But it was the part that I really enjoyed. So whereas now I got a bunch of cool stuff, but I'm not doing anything that I'm like truly passionate about outside of streaming and content. And yeah, live the artist life if you can. Because it was a really great experience back then. Never back down. Never give up? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know the saying. Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? There are actors out there that made it in their 70s. I could be that story. Who knows? Or I could just never make it. I would just like to be on stage again. I've kind of given up on the idea of doing it professionally because the competition is just so high. And I am just not formally skilled enough. I am naturally skilled, but I'm not formally skilled enough. So I don't think I can make it, but it would just be cool to do some work. That's all I care about now. I have a good life, so I'm happy with all the stuff I have at home. I've got like a nice apartment. When I bring people over, it's like, yeah, like the apartment itself isn't very nice, but like I got cool stuff and I got a nice big TV and nice couch and I cook well. So it's like, yeah, I've got decent stuff. I just need a way to express myself now, which is partially why I do this, but it's also why I am auditioning for that musical, because I'm really hopeful that I can put some music on because it's so quiet. I'm hopeful that I can at least just get back on stage because I do miss acting. That's how I met Preston. I met some of the best people ever while doing it. Nope. Okay, you can still hear it, right? Yeah. I met some of the best people ever doing my acting, so I would like to do that again. And who knows? I might hit the right spot, and because I do social media, maybe somebody will notice me, and then maybe I'll get an offer to do like a voice in a video game or something. That would be really cool. Yeah, it's never give up. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. I'm like out of the loop of stuff. I'm old. I'm not cool. I never was cool even before, but I'm old and not cool now. But how you doing, Chimichangas? Chimichang... Is it Chimichangasi or Chimichangas I? This stupid cough. I just want to finish my tea before I take one of the Cepicals to help the cough out. Okay, so we did get... Okay, so I'm just going down here because I want to see if I can get even just one piece of lava. Because then I can start a lava farm. And then with that lava farm, I can... Okay, here we go. I can hopefully... There it is. Okay, and now there was a cave, and I'm pretty sure that cave had... Wait, is... Oh, wait, I don't have any more buckets anyway. I'm pretty sure that cave had some dripstone in it. If I could get a piece of dripstone, then we're golden. If not, I'll have to go hunt for one. I haven't. Is it finally out? I checked last night and all I could see, like the date said it was supposed to be released yesterday. Or was it today? It's the 18th. No, today I think. But when I checked, it was still too early. I didn't have access to it, and then I went to bed. And then today I've been on the go since I woke up, so I haven't checked today. I really want to try it. Preston, I don't know if you're still listening. If you are, if not, I'll text you later. If you are listening, you should check out Lies of P because it's on Game Pass and it's very much like Dark Souls, so you might like it. It's a soundbite from streamer Nick. Oh, okay. This is one of my like weird brain things. I've said this before. I don't know if you've been here when I've said it near. I have a really weird thing where I will be really passionate about something and really enjoy doing something, but I 100% don't enjoy watching it. I've said this many times. I was a musician. Love music. I don't watch people play, and I don't listen to music. I was I was an actor. I didn't know anything about musicals, and I don't really watch movies. So like I'm always really passionate about things, but I don't actually partake. I'm a streamer, and I don't really watch streams. I watch a couple of friends that I really like, but I don't watch like any of the big streamers. I've never watched. Not a fan of any of them. Don't dislike them, just not my thing. Oh, my tea is at like that level that I'm sure Brits would think is gross, but it's like, it's warm, but not hot, so I can like chug it down if I want. And you get more of the flavor. When it's too hot, it just tastes like hot. I like when it's like warm, like pretty warm, but I'm sure Brits would look at this and be like, you're drinking ice cold tea. I have, Michael Jackson. I think that's the first game you've asked me if I've played, and it's actually something I play on the channel. I have played it. I played it for multiple streams. Nobody else seemed to like it, but I liked it. I like horror games, right? So for me, this is the place with the dripstone. So for me, it was definitely the right kind of game, but it's not everybody's cup of tea because it's a little bit slow. But yeah, I did play it. It's a pretty good game. It's a pretty good game. It's really scary, and I'm probably gonna play it again because I do really like playing horror games on the channel, and my goal is to play horror games pretty consistently on the channel. So we're eventually gonna run out of games, and I'll probably go back to the Amnesia series because I'm pretty sure I bought the whole series. There was like a sale where a bunch of them were being sold, and I bought them all. So we will be playing it again eventually. I haven't played more of it, not since the last stream. I've been trying really hard to focus what I'm playing, and so I made a conscious decision to kind of lean into the whole survival genre. So we just finished The Forest, and I've been playing Minecraft, which is survival, but it's like survival light, I guess you could say. How the hell did I get in here? It's like survival light. So I'm still kind of on the fence about Minecraft. I love Minecraft, but as you can tell, it's not exactly the most popular. Like we've got 5 on TikTok, which is average. Like it's normally what I get, so that's not too bad. But like Twitch right now has, Twitch and YouTube have 3. And I've been averaging about 8 lately, so it's not everybody's cup of tea. So I'm a little bit torn about doing Minecraft anymore. But I just don't know what else I would do because I don't. I'm noticing. I heard a witch. I'm noticing that survival games aren't exactly, you know, a big hit with everybody. So I'm kind of torn on what I want to do. But Baldur's Gate, I struggle way too much playing that because, as you can tell, I like to talk, and it's really hard because it's an unforgiving game. If I stop paying attention for even a second in the middle of a conversation, I have no idea what's happening, and then all of a sudden I'm in a battle because I didn't do what they were asking me to, and I didn't intend to do it that way. You know what I mean? Haven't even played my personal game. Haven't even turned it on. I've been playing Starfield, but I haven't played Baldur's Gate mainly because I haven't had time. I've been spending a lot of time, you know, just making sure everything is set the way that I want, as far as like my apartment and my stream setup and my TikTok setup and all that, because you haven't been here for a few days, so I apologize if I'm repeating this if you heard it already, but I'm assuming you haven't. I had my stream set up like this, but every time I wanted to do a TikTok, I would have to like take the camera off because the other one broke, and then set up a separate light, and then like bring out the lights and bring out the camera stand and bring out the microphone and then set it up and then try to focus and get everything going and change the settings on the camera. And it was a nightmare. It was a hassle. First world problems, obviously, but it was a hassle because if I wanted to make a TikTok, I knew it was going to take me at least a half an hour to get things ready for the TikTok. And then that just made me go, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm too tired. I don't want to spend a half an hour setting up for a 30-second recording. Usually my recordings are like half an hour, but still, I didn't want to do all that work. So I've been spending the time recently, like organizing that stuff. So now I've set up, like my corner back there is for my TikToks, and now it's just there all the time. But that meant I had to like empty a shelf and move stuff around. So I've been doing stuff like that for the last little while. So I haven't had any time to game at all. And because Starfield came out, I've been playing that more than anything. So I haven't spent any time on Baldur's Gate at all. Like the last stream I did was the last time I even turned the game on. I think I turned it on twice, but it was literally load screen, the game starts, I see I'm in the middle of a battle, and then I quit. So no experience with Baldur's Gate recently. Yeah, the survival genre is either love or hate. It's either love or hate, and overall, they tend to be much lower view counts. Like, Minecraft is the only one that has a higher viewership, but it's much more child-oriented, and I don't want my channel to be a kid's channel. And I'm not doing anything that would make kids be interested, right? Like, I'm not doing the loud, obnoxious voices. I'm not super high energy. I'm also not streaming with other people, so I don't have like a character, right? Like I could do a whole character. Like if I was this guy and I played some Minecraft, I could do silly things with this guy and pretend like this is a character. But it's kind of boring when you're by yourself. If I'm playing by myself like this, what kind of adventures can I have? I need friends, right? So I could make it funny, but then there's nobody else to make it funny with. And I just don't want a bunch of kids watching my channel only. And then all the other survival stuff, like I'm lucky if there's like 200 viewers at one of those games. So like, I'm still kind of torn. But the beauty in survival is I can do this and just talk. And if nothing goes on in the game, nobody cares. Right? So, frustrating. Frustrating. Yeah, and that's it. Preston's the same way. He doesn't really like survival games. He hangs out because he's my friend in real life, but he's not really a big fan of survival games, right? And like, I don't blame him, and I don't blame all of you. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. I screwed up big time. I screwed up big time. Run, 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 run. Okay. 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 Woo! I forgot that this is, hardcore, and I almost died. I almost died. That was the closest I've come to dying. That was crazy. Get in the house. Let me sleep. There we go. That voice is spot on. But yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's low stakes for the most part. Like that moment was a bit exciting, but overall it's low stakes. Like I've played Minecraft for a few streams now, and like yesterday all we did is wander around and then we dug for some diamonds. Not exactly the most compelling content, right? But it really works well for my type of content because I'm so chatty. So I'm trying to see if I can find a balance of a type of game that I can play that'll keep me being chatty, but be a little bit more exciting. You know what I mean? Because it's definitely a hard balance. That's why Baldur's Gate didn't work for me, because I had to concentrate too much on the game. And because I chat so much, I didn't concentrate enough, and then I ended up not knowing what the heck I was doing. Kind of what happened with Elden Ring. And so I don't want to do something that epic, but I also need to figure something out where I can kind of balance it a bit more. If that makes any sense. No, we're never going to finish Elden Ring. Oh, because you haven't been here, you haven't seen. I finally admitted the truth. I hate Elden Ring. I think it's the worst Soulsborne game. So, no, I'm never going to play that game again. Even on my private time. Unless it's like with my brother or something. Because then I just follow him and I just worry about fighting the bosses. But yeah, no, I hate Elden Ring. I really, really didn't like it. I know a lot of people were pretty upset at me when I said that. And I even made a follow-up video, and a few people agreed with me. But a few people were really, really mad at me that I made a video saying that. Like, in my video, I end up saying, like, the main reason I don't like Elden Ring is you just can't figure out what's going on very easily. Like, you have to pay attention to all the details to even know what's going on. One of the guys that got mad at me, his response was, well, if you didn't pay attention, that's your fault. You have to pay attention to know what's going on. That's why I don't like Elden Ring, because that's what I have to do to know what's going on. That was my point. That's like saying I don't like tea because it, I don't know. No, that's like saying I don't like Pepsi because it's too sweet and I don't like the fizz. And then somebody gets mad at me and say, you know, you should like the fizz and the sweetness. That's why you don't like Pepsi. Well, yeah, that's why I said I don't like it because of those reasons. That I don't know what you're trying to say by repeating what I said. But yeah, that was it for me. I don't like having to hunt for information on what to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, you were basically holding my hand telling me where to go, and to me that just wasn't fun. And although there's a really epic story and there's a bunch of information there, it's not just given to you. It's not like when I'm playing Elden Ring or Starfield, where like there's a bunch of stuff going on, but there's like cutscenes that will make me listen to the important things that I need to see. Whereas like Elden Ring, if you don't talk 15 times to the one NPC, you might have no idea what's going on because you didn't talk to them 15, you only talked to them 14 times. And so like, it's hard, or they'll use a bunch of names and I have no idea who the hell they're talking about. So like, they'll mention somebody and for all I know, I'm talking to them after I already dealt with that person. So I have no clue that they're talking about a person that I killed like 2 hours ago. Or I talk to them now and then I don't find the person for another 8 hours. And I don't remember that that person said that 8 hours ago. Do you know what I mean? And it worked better in like Bloodborne and Dark Souls and stuff because it's much more corridor based. So like, even if you don't know what the hell's going on, there's not a lot of places to get lost. So you can pretty much just stumble your way through. But Elden Ring, how many streams have we spent where I literally just wandered around for 4 hours doing nothing? To me, that's just not the sign of a good narrative. And I can't play a game if it doesn't have a decent narrative. Like Minecraft is one of the few exceptions. Sorry, I'm not going through my phone. Well, I am, but I'm not looking to text anybody. I'm trying to find my coordinates. -342 943. -342. So this way. Okay, so it's got to be this direction. Yeah, so like and that's it, right? Like I don't think the game itself is a bad game. The mechanics are phenomenal. The graphics are some of the best that they've had. I mean, FromSoft isn't exactly renowned for the best graphics. Their NPCs always look like dolls. But like the mechanics and everything are great. It's just they are not good storytellers. They write good stories. They're just not good storytellers. And so if I have zero idea why I'm going in the direction that I'm going and why I'm facing the guy that I'm facing, or like even understand why he's so important, there's no satisfaction in it. You know what I mean? Like there's in Bloodborne and Dark Souls, the satisfaction is in defeating them, but because it happens at a relatively steady pace, you always feel that you're overcoming the burdens. Whereas Elden Ring, I would spend 6 hours wandering around an empty field, so I didn't feel like there was a burden. I just felt like I was wasting time. So by the time I got to the boss, it was more like, okay, finally, let's get this over with. It wasn't, oh my god, I fought my whole way here to face this guy, and finally my moment has come. It's more like, oh, it's you. Finally, where the hell were you? Okay, let's get this over with. And that's just not enjoyable to me. I know a lot of people who obviously enjoy exploring and checking every nook and cranny, but I don't want to do that. So that's why for me it wasn't a good game. But I can understand why other people liked it. I don't understand why I got Game of the Year, but I can understand why people liked it. But definitely not my cup of tea. And so I'm not gonna play it, and I probably will never play it again unless, like I said, my brother decides to start streaming with me and he's like, hey, let's do this together in co-op. Then it's a bit better, because then I can just shut my brain off and just like worry about chatting and joking around with him, and he'll just lead me where I need to go. It's not that they have a bad narrative. The story is good, like I said. They just don't know how to tell the story, right? Like they got the guy from Game of Thrones, and up until the last season of the show, the story was great, and the books have been renowned for years. But what good is the beauty if it's hidden? Do you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. It's like what good is it being beautiful if it's just hidden away? It's kind of like if you were to take something like the Mona Lisa and then put it in the basement. Sure, it's a beautiful piece of art. But what's the point if it's just hidden in the basement? You have to go all the way down to the basement and ask somebody for the key to go to the basement to be able to see the Mona Lisa that's like hidden in some drawer. Put it out there for us to see. Do you know what I mean? Like even just the key moments. Leave all the other like super intricate details hidden. But at least give us like a really basic narrative through cutscenes and like important key moments that we can't just walk away from. Because like that horse guy, the guy with the tiny horse, and he's a giant. I still have zero idea what his importance was. Everybody loves him, and I don't know why. I thought it was the most hilarious looking bad guy, and not hilarious in like an endearing way, but hilarious in like an embarrassing way. And everybody loves him, and it has to do with the narrative, but I didn't find out the details of the narrative. So to me, he just looks like a pathetic giant dude on a tiny horse. And so like that isn't a good sign when that's what I got from the battle, when there's a much more interesting narrative behind him. So it's not that the narrative isn't good, it's they don't know how to deliver the narrative. Yeah, and that's it. The fun was in the hunt, and I don't enjoy the hunt. I don't play a game to spend hours looking in every nook and cranny and reading every description and talking to everybody until their text is exhausted. I don't do that with any game. But it's even harder when it's such a vague game, right? Like something like The Witcher. You can go deep like that with The Witcher, right? You can explore every single piece of territory that you can find. You can talk to every single NPC and get every piece of story and lore for the world. But you don't have to, and you can still totally get a complete grasp of what the world is about without ever having done any of that. I don't want to be forced to do that just to be able to appreciate the game. And it's always been one of my struggles with Soulsborne games in general, when I've had to literally watch, what's that guy's name? Vatty, I think is his name? Where I've had to watch like hours of his videos just to know what the hell is happening in Dark Souls. So like the hunt is definitely fun for people, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think it's not a good sign of a game when that's the only way you can get any of the story. It should be an optional way to get more of the story, but you could still get like the gist of it by playing without ever exploring anything. He learned gravity magic to be able to keep his little horse. Yeah, see, like that's something I wish that they would have like had more of a way of telling us directly, because that makes it a little bit more endearing and more like it makes you feel like there's an emotion there for this person, like this monster, this boss, whatever. You feel like, wow, like they actually cared about something so much. Whereas for me, it was like, look at this guy. He looks so stupid with a tiny horse. And again, that's just not a good sign of how to tell a narrative when that's what your player got from it. But again, I'm not saying that anybody who likes the game is wrong or anything like that. I don't get it. And that's like the reason I don't like it. Okay, so we do have stuff. I just didn't get any dripstone. I gotta find some dripstone. But while I'm here, let me do some some sand real quick. Crap, I got rid of all my charcoal, all my coal to make torches. Oh, I guess we'll just use logs. Oh no, they're in there. I'm an idiot. Hello, Ordinary Logo fan. How you doing? Welcome. Hello, Turtsa. How are you? How are things? Okay, finished my tea. Now I can have one of these, but I still have some. Yes, I do. Oh, that's disappointing. I thought this was the mint. I mean, I thought this was the honey lemon, but inside is like the spearmint. These are gross. They taste like Vicks Vapor Rub. Are you? Somebody just asked me about it. Last night while I was getting ready to go to bed, I was playing some Starfield, and then when I went into my main Xbox dashboard, there was a notification that's like, oh, preload Lies of P now, so it's ready to go. Then I looked up the date, and I was like, it's supposed to be out today, but it wasn't ready yet. It wasn't unlocked in my region. So I went to bed, and I didn't download it, but I do want to play it. I want to try it. It looks really good. Okay, so we have some glass, and I want to make... Why is he still there? Uh-oh. Why is the Enderman still over there? He hasn't left. Ginger, how you doing, man? How are things? How was your day off, and how is it being back at work? Ugh, gross work. You know what? I'll keep making glass because I could use some windows in here so I could see outside. But I want to make a cauldron. Oh wait, I got all my wheat and I did not plant more. Three bosses down. Controller's still okay. Still haven't thrown it and broken it. Good. That's a good sign. Take a spoon to the bad boy. I'll spoon his butt little by little. I get so nervous whenever I know there's like creepers around because I'm scared they're just gonna like sneak up behind me and all I'm gonna hear is and it's hardcore. I'm gonna die if that happens. It's so much easier to farm when you're in VR. You can just point your hand. Okay, that should be good. Only 3 more days of work. You must be excited, man. You must be excited. Like, I know I don't mind getting away once in a while, you know, having some time to myself and all that, but like 20 days is a long time to get away. It's a very, very long time to get away. I wouldn't mind like 3 or 4 days, but like, it's a long time, dude. It's a pretty big effort you're putting in for your family, so good on you. Good on you. Okay. So now I need to find dripstone, which I'm hoping will be in one of... Oh! I'm hoping we'll be in one of these weird caves, maybe. Then we can make ourselves a little lava farm. Oh, I keep turning off the music because the Minecraft music turns on, and then I forget to turn on the stream beats for you all to listen to in the background. Hopefully it's okay volume. You tried it with the Airlink. The Forest is, oh, at least for me, it was a little bit janky. I couldn't get it to run super smooth. So if you get motion sick, the Forest is pretty tough. But I really like it in VR. I think it's so cool having like the enemies pop up around you. It's really, really cool. If you do like that, now it's not cannibals. It doesn't have like a dark, it has a dark story, but it doesn't have like a scary story the same way. You should try Green Hell in VR because that one's actually built from the ground up for VR. And like there's a VR version and that one's really good. And it has a lot of the same mechanics as the Forest. Like you can build your fortresses, your bases and stuff, but it's not, you can build them as complicated, but it's way harder than the Forest. I really, really like Green Hell. How's it going, Rye? How you doing, man? How's life? You imagine, Nier? You imagine having good working conditions? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, the VR version is really good. Depending on if you play like the PC VR version. Because yeah, even the PC version is split up, right? Like there's the base version and then there's the VR version on PC, right? But if you're playing the PC version or if you're playing the Quest version, they're slightly different. The storyline is the same. The mechanics are slightly different too. Like in the PC version, you can look at your legs and your arms. On the Quest version, you can only look at your arms. Base building is a little bit more similar to PC in the PC version, whereas the Quest version is more VR. Like you actually have to like hammer things in to make them stay. I do want to play Green Hell on VR. In VR, I just haven't yet. Long work day. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like, have you been busy a lot, so like it kind of sucks because you just need a rest? Or has it been kind of quiet and you're kind of like, well, it's good that I've been working. I'm just tired though. We talking working conditions? Oh my God. I can't even complain about my working conditions. My working conditions are pretty decent. There's a couple of things that kind of suck, but that's just part of the territory. You know who I don't envy? People who work in kitchens. I do not envy kitchen workers at all. Like, not in the slightest. I would never, ever, ever want to work in a kitchen. Okay, we got it. Boom. So now I can make myself a lava thing. A lava farm, I guess I'd call it. Let me just get these last ones here. So if I can get a few, then I can make multiples as I get more lava. Then we'll be able to make a portal, which will be wonderful. Okay, there we go. Oh, been crazy busy, but the consistency, yeah, because it's really hit and miss at times, right? Like there are moments where work just slows to a crawl, doesn't it? Yeah, I can't. I was never a server, but I worked as a host at a restaurant, and I'd go into the kitchen and it was a sauna in there. And then obviously the complaints and how fast you have to work and all that kind of stuff. But even now, I take care of one of the restaurants in St. Catharines. And like, I'll go in at 3 in the morning when nobody's around and nobody has been around for hours. And the kitchen is like walking into a furnace. It's like you're walking into a boiler room in an old like 1950s building. It is horrendously hot in there at all times. I do not envy kitchen workers because that's with the stoves and everything off. I can't even imagine when you're standing over the stove with it on at full bore to try to cook as quick as you can. Ugh, no way. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It was miserable. Yeah. Yeah, couldn't do it. No way. Those are one of the jobs that I think is very underrated for how horrible the job actually is. Because people who do it are passionate. They love cooking and stuff, but the conditions are bad. and the food that comes out of there, it's magical when you think about the conditions they're working in. Like, it's just, those people are so under appreciated. No, thank you. Don't get me wrong, I've done some pretty rough jobs too. Like, being a PSW, not physically hard, but not just anybody can like walk into a room and watch somebody pass away with a bunch of strangers all crying and being really upset, and you have to sit there and be professional. You know, because then you have to like clean them up and stuff, right? And it's really, really awkward because they don't want you to touch their family member because, you know, they're uncomfortable, they're in pain. At the same time, they want you to make sure their family member's taken care of, but the only way I can do it is by being not rough, but like moving them fully, and then they get really like uncomfortable because they're watching me be what they consider rough, and like that's tough, and it's not something anybody can do. Or like having them, the person passing away, break down and start like crying and asking you questions about why them, and you don't know them, and it's really hard to talk to. Or then the gross parts of it, you know, changing people after they've done what 1-year-olds do. That part's rough. Not anybody can do that, but I would rather do that than work in a kitchen. 100%. I appreciate that, Preston. I appreciate that. Did you work today, Preston? Line cooks are my personal heroes. Yeah, for real. For real. Yeah, it gets easier over time, right? Like when I first started, it was definitely weird. And even like after I walked away for a few years and went back to it, it was uncomfortable again. Even like silly things, like watching somebody get undressed is really uncomfortable, even though I'm there to like do my job. After a while, like after a few times doing it, you stop even considering it. You're just like, okay, whatever, just get undressed, let's go. But the first little while, I'm like, I feel like a creep. I'm watching you get undressed right now. It's really uncomfortable. You know, but you do what you have to do. And it's not too bad. But I would rather do that a million times before having to work in a kitchen. I couldn't handle having people yell at me because they wanted their meat cooked a certain way, but they said a different way, and now I'm the one that was wrong, even though they were the ones that said it wrong. Or like have people send the food back because they didn't like it, and then start like yelling and freaking out and causing drama, or like insulting my meal, even though it was cooked just fine, but they just don't like it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. No way. Hello, Tony. How you doing? Okay, so I'm gonna put my lava thing just by the cows, just so it's easier for me to access. Maybe like right here. So we'll put the cauldron here. I don't want to get it too close because things will light on fire. Let's not get too close. I don't want to get confident and then burn my own place down because a little lava bubble flies out and destroys everything. Right here's good. That won't burn anything down. People ordering chicken medium rare. I want my chicken blue and my pork medium rare, please. Now I've heard that there has been some progress. Is it with pork? That like there are people that actually want their pork medium rare, which is really weird. But that's still unsafe, isn't it? I don't know. I don't cook enough, so I couldn't tell you. I just cook everything till it's well done. Except for steak. Steak, I would definitely go medium rare if I can. Pork can be a little undercooked. Okay, I remember hearing that. I know I always grew up being told, no, pork's like the most dangerous. But then eventually it kind of changed a little bit. But I'm assuming it has to do with, yeah, definitely a thin line. I'm assuming it also has to do just with like the breeding conditions now compared to what they used to be a few years back. Okay. So I think if I put the dripstone here, it'll work. And then if I put the glass there. Right. Or, oops, I put stone, I meant glass. I even said glass. Okay, put the glass there. And then I can put cobblestone. 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 And cobblestone. And then, ta-da! Lava. I should have probably put a ladder up here. And dripstone. And now we can start harvesting more lava. It'll take forever, but we can do it. I've heard of that. I haven't seen it before, but I've heard of people asking for undercooked chicken and then getting mad when you don't do it, which is the state of our education system, man. I'm telling you, it's like those stupid people, and no offense if you believe this, but you are wrong, that believe that raw milk is like a dairy industry secret, and like that they're doing it because big dairy wants your money, and are just so ignorant to the fact that we do it because it can kill you. And raw milk has no benefits because humans are not supposed to be drinking milk from other animals. So pasteurizing makes it possible. But yeah, the lack of education, man, I'm telling you. That whole like Dunning-Kruger being way too confident in your own abilities is a scary thing that we're dealing with. Exactly, right? There's no chef here. What are you talking about, chef? You mean Troy, who's like 18 years old? That guy? That's who you're worried about? You want to go make demands to him? Good luck. Good luck. He's here because his parents couldn't even make him go to school. They're thinking they're going to walk in there and some guy named Pierre with like 30 years of training in France is going to be cooking their IHOP pancakes. Just had a stressful night and day. I hope so, man. I hope it wasn't like serious stress. Just try to relax as much as you can. That's all you can do, right? Okay, so we've now got our little lava farm at least, so we can eventually end up with some lava. No shortcut. I've only been live for an hour, and I spent about a half an hour of that just chatting. So we've only been wandering around for maybe half an hour. Okay, I want to put a couple of windows in here just because I don't like that I can't see what's going on outside of my base when I'm in here. I don't want to walk out and run into like a creeper or something. Should I put panels? Maybe I should put panels. Oh, that's too many. That's too many. Okay. Does 16. I didn't realize it did so many. I know, how dare I talk to people. He smells like cigarettes and felonies. The worst part right now that I read that, I literally read it as, nah, we got Kyle. He smells like cigarettes and felonies. Like bologna. For some reason, my brain went there. He smells like felonies. I was like, what the hell are felonies? I just pictured some like cold cut meat that smells weird. Although he probably smells like a weird bologna too. But damn, can Kyle cook? That was like, I watched this guy,
Favorite artist concerts on Spotify.
I think he's Chinese. Did he say he was Chinese? Because there was another guy who said he was Korean, but I could have sworn he had made a bunch of jokes about being Chinese. But then he said he was Korean, so maybe I'm just misremembering. And then there's this other guy, but I can't remember if he's the one that said he's Korean. But anyways, he made a joke about how like about chefs and stuff, and how like Chinese restaurants can work so much faster than American restaurants because they have the food ready in like 5 minutes. And then he made the joke about how like you go into the kitchen and it's their uncle who came in from Hong Kong just like a few years ago, doesn't speak a word of English, has a cigarette in his hand, is wearing like the hell's the thing called? A bandana with like an old yellow wife beater or muscle shirt, sorry, and is cooking with his cigarette hanging out, and he's like, and he just randomly swears in the home language, and it's just like, yeah, like the best food is cooked by like the grossest looking people. It's amazing. I friggin' love it. Did I do that? Did I switch back to panel? Did I switch back to blocks? Did I do panels, then blocks, then panels again? Oh, those are all panels. I think it was just the first ones that I did blocks. It's because I forgot that panels existed. Yeah, those ones are blocks. Those are panels. Did I do blocks everywhere else? Nope. Panels. It's just the one. It's just the one. I'll fix that later. Yeah, I gotta get some cats. I just haven't found any yet. I found a village, but it was really random and I don't remember where it was. That's what you thought when you were in culinary school? Yeah. No, it's a very common... Oh, look at... Wow. Guys, why do people who play Java act like they're playing the more hardcore version because they have hardcore? The spawn rate in Java is ridiculously fast compared to Bedrock. Like, that would take hours in Bedrock for that to happen. Hours in real life, not hours in game. How the heck did I end up with lava already? Holy crap. Bing bong. What bing bonged? Hello, Nautical Soap. Thank you for the GGs. What is it that the young guys say? Gang, gang. Is that what they say? Is that what they say? I've seen that a lot. More iron. I'll make one more cauldron, so at least I'll be able to do 2 at a time. And then, my friends... You die. And then, my friends, you die, man. Then, my friends, you die. That's from Beavis and Butthead. That's how old I am. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. They're PC elitists. Yeah, I'm really, really shocked at how absolutely easy the spawn rate is. I didn't expect that. Like, you'll see a cow and then and then you turn the corner and there's like 12 more cows. In Bedrock you see a cow and there might be like another 1 or 2 cows, and then that's it. So like trying to collect animals is a pain in Bedrock. I have seen, and I should have known this about Java, I have seen that Java has really fast mob spawns, like bad mobs, because I've seen how I've seen when they build mob farms and they're like, oh, 1,000 mobs in a minute or whatever, or 1,000 drops in a minute, and then I build the exact same farm and it's like I sit there for an hour and it's like I only got 100 drops. What are you talking about? Because Bedrock is so much slower. So much slower. Okay. Guess I'll put it there. And come on. There and there and there and there. I do like the sound of the lava. That bubbling sound. Okay. Put that away just to make it nice and neat. Put that there. And then, did I bring the dripstone? Yes, I did. And I think it's right here, right? Is that where it is? Nope, I missed because I'm awesome at spatial recognition, apparently. There. Are you not working? Oh, there you are. Okay, cool. So now we got 2. So that should help make our little obsidian farm, basically. Like a lava farm, but for obsidian. I am so young and hip and tubular. Hey, tubular is like way before my time, all right? I'm not that old. I'm more like that's sick. I didn't use this phrase. I hated it, but that's ill, yo. I had friends that would say ill instead of cool or sick. There was another one that they used that I never understood why people use that phrase, but I can't remember. In my school, the popular one was just solid. That's solid, bro. Okay. So, maybe I could start the basics of a mob farm, maybe? I'm scared too, though, because that means climbing up really high, and I could fall down, and that's not a good thing. It's a good thing. If I'm old enough to go see now, I'm old enough for tubular. Sick is an old thing. Yeah, man. Sick was like from when I was in high school. Sick was from when I was in high school. And then they started using ill because that's what teenagers do. They take a word that represents something and then they use a synonym of that word to continue using it, but in a different way. Like how teenagers now will say like facts. And we used to say for real. And so like the synonym, not the direct synonym, but like I'm saying what I'm saying is real and you're saying what you're saying is a fact. And so now you just say facts. And so it's kind of the same. We would say sick and then teenagers shifted over to ill because ill is another word for sick. And sick was the way you said cool. It's so dumb. Teenagers, man, all of us, every generation of teenagers, we're so dumb. Come up with like the dumbest phrases and the dumbest words. People still use sick in the UK? Yeah, I think sick is one of the more timeless ones. Not exactly the most relevant term, but definitely still more timeless. Like cool. Cool still is... Like cool started in like the 50s or something. And that one still kind of sticks around. It's not something that you say all the time. Like that guy's really cool. But you would say something like that's so cool. So like that's another term that's still kind of around. But like gnarly, I mean, unless you're like a California surfer, bro, you're not really gonna say gnarly, right? But like in the 90s, gnarly was totally a thing you'd say. Cause like the California bros were like the ones setting all the slang, right? Like you had like the gangster rap slang, but you also had like the surfer bro slang. Radical, bro. And like when you had like the Ninja Turtles, like you totally had that kind of tubular way of talking. You know what I mean? Ride those gnarly waves, bro. Then you had Pauly Shore, who like had his own phrases that people used. I loved Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore was like my guilty cringe addiction. I loved how cringy Pauly Shore was. Yeah, there are definitely older phrases that are used in an ironic way, and that keeps them alive as well. Yeah, there's definitely stuff like that. Because I'm sure, like, I never looked into it because when I was a teenager, social media wasn't really a big thing. Like, the closest you got to social media was Facebook, which was at the end of my high school. So, like, I wasn't really involved in that. I just kind of missed the Facebook window. And I didn't have a MySpace, so you used a lot of, like, MSN Messenger or ICQ. Like, it was direct chatting. It wasn't really the same kind of social media that's around now. So you didn't have as much access to figuring out where words and phrases came from. But I'm sure there was a lot of terms that we used that were ironically from older generations, and we just used them. The same thing happens to me in Spanish. My parents used their slang because they came here when they were in their early 20s. And the Spanish they used was that slang. And now I'm using that slang because that's what I grew up with. And I didn't have any other friends that spoke Spanish to learn new slang. And so when I speak the old-fashioned slang. So I sound like an 80s guy. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Exactly. It's ironic until it's not ironic anymore. Hijo de las mil putas. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's the pig. I was like, what is that noise? It scared me. I'm thinking that maybe I'll go underground and just get a bunch of cobblestone so I can start making a really basic mob farm, because mob farms are always handy. It's called Have a Good Trip, and it's really entertaining and also interesting. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Language is really interesting how it changes and evolves. And it's hard for older generations to accept it because sometimes we have set up these like ridiculous... Uh-oh. I thought that was a hole. We have set up these like ridiculous rules in language, and we don't want to shift away from those rules. Like there's stuff that I hear that I'm like, no, man. Like when people use aesthetic now, it's a very different meaning to Gen Z than it is to millennials. And for millennials, it wasn't even something that we used in regular talk. It was a very specific use. But now they use aesthetic to mean something very, like it's similar. It's still the same idea, but they use it in a very loosey-goosey way, which to us doesn't make sense because it's not supposed to be used for those reasons. And so it's hard sometimes as you get older. You start hearing all these new terms and you're just like, what? Why are you saying that? That's not what the word means. It evolves and recycles, exactly. Jack K, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's been a lot of work. For us, like it still meant the same thing, right? Like aesthetic is like the look of things, the vibe, the feel that something gives off, right? But for us, it was much more refined than that. Like the aesthetic of something was very much about the design language. So it wasn't just about like the feeling, it was about the actual design language. So like the aesthetic I've gone for is like the streamer aesthetic, and not in the feeling, but like in the actual colors by using purple, by having overlays. Like that's the aesthetic. That's what the word was like intended for, is speaking very, very specifically about that. Whereas like a lot of teenagers now, they talk about aesthetic as like just a feeling, and you know, like, oh man, that's not my aesthetic. And it's like, what are you talking about? I don't get it. You're talking about like that kind of music and you're using that. I'm so confused. Or like the vibe, right? It hasn't changed as much with vibe, but vibe is much more about like I don't even know because I don't use vibe that way. But like for us, it was very specifically about like the feeling you got. So like aesthetic was one thing, like the look, and vibe was the feeling. So they were two totally separate things. Whereas now you guys use them interchangeably and they can mean the exact same thing. Whereas for us, it was very separate. Because if I said aesthetic, like the aesthetic of my room, I'm talking about the lighting, the way that things are set up, the graphics I'm using. But if I'm talking about the vibe, I'm talking about the feeling you get when you sit in my room. And teenagers now tend to use both interchangeably. And it's like, it's really weird. Oops. The most interesting streamer that you've ever watched. I don't know about that, but I do talk a lot. So I think it just makes me more interactive. Not so much that it's the best streaming, but it's the most interactive, or not the most, but a very interactive stream. Okay, so I guess I just need a bunch of cobblestone. So I guess we could just like, let's go to the end of this hall and just do some, whatever it's called, where we dig straight side to side, see if we find any diamonds, but pick up the cobblestone that I can. Yeah, aesthetic, it feels very edgy. And the thing is that that's one of those words that I feel like is going to die. Like it's not going to stick around permanently being used that way, because it's not taken in by everybody. It's a very like niche, and you're trying to give off a certain type of look or personality when you use that word, and so it's not as commonly used. So I don't know if that one will stick around. But there was another one of my friends on Facebook, an older guy, like he's in his 50s, he brought it up and he got really frustrated with it, because him and all of his boomer commenters, he asked like, why do people use the word that way? I don't remember what word it was. And a bunch of people were commenting, oh, it's illiteracy. And so my response was like, it's not that it's illiteracy, it's that the generation uses the word differently, and your generation has not kept up. So it is illiteracy, but it's illiteracy in your inability to keep up with how it's evolved, and illiteracy in the newer generation's inability to use it the way it was intended. But I can't remember what the word was that he brought up. But it's really, really common that you'll see words that have changed what they mean, and not just topically, but like they really don't mean the same thing anymore. Oh, eggy. Eggy. Okay, I thought you meant edgy. See, there's another one, because edgy is kind of the same meaning. Like you say, it's used to describe something that doesn't feel right or is weird, and edgy is intentionally using something that's like making other people not feel right or feel weird in order to get that answer from them. It's very similar in meaning. And there's also like the language difference between like regions, right? Like if you're in the UK, there are words that you use that I will never ever use because they're not used here. Like I learned this early on in TikTok. Winging, I had never ever or whinging. Is it whinging or ringing? I can't remember. But that's a word that's not used here at all. And so the first time somebody used it, I thought they misspelled whining. Yeah, and that's how they're intended to be used, Jack, is like a vibe is like that energy you feel when you walk into the room, right? Like if you come to my stream, the vibe is like chill, relax, we're just gonna hang out and talk. It's not about competition or anything. And then my aesthetic, well, my aesthetic's usually yellow, but I use a lot of purples because they show up nicer on camera. But like my aesthetic is like yellow overlays and very clean and minimal on screen. But there's so many people that use aesthetic as like the feel of things, and it's just like, that's not what aesthetic means though. Yeah, it's very much, and again, it's regional, right? Like going back to the regional thing, it's also regional. It depends on where you're from. You're going to use the words slightly differently. And not just like, you know, trousers versus pants, but like just overall slang terms, or even the way things are said. Hello, Roman Baron. How's it going? Welcome. Like here's, I don't know what they would be talking about. I can't give you an example of what they would talk about, but for vibe, how many times have you heard somebody say, no, that's not a vibe? What do you mean that's not a vibe? Like they're trying to say that's not cool, or like that doesn't work, or like that's not a vibe. But I don't know what you mean, because that's not how a vibe isn't an action. It's not a verb. Well, I'm so confused. That's what I mean, like where they use it interchangeably. Or it's like, what do you mean? Like I know you're trying to say like that doesn't work, but if that doesn't work, isn't that more of an aesthetic? So like that's not a good aesthetic? Is that what you're trying to say? But you used vibe, and vibe wouldn't, like it doesn't mesh in my brain. But I'm around TikTok long enough that I've been able to translate it in my own brain, but every time I hear it, I still feel that way. You know what I mean? Thank you, Roman. I appreciate the compliment. Oh, we got a thunderstorm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't remember what the number is, but we're just doing this. My stream. So, Baron, if you've been kind of wandering around trying to find somebody, obviously you don't really know anything about my channel. Just a quick breakdown of kind of how my content is. I'm a variety streamer. I have been playing quite a bit of Minecraft lately. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so hold on. Let me do this the right way. So it's 1. Wait, why am I doing it this way? Hold on. I'm getting confused. Okay, I can see this side, which means I can also see this side. So if I dig here, I can see this side. Yeah, I think this is what it's supposed to be. I'm a variety streamer. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft lately. I'm not a Minecraft only streamer. I am playing Resident Evil 8, which we're going to be getting back to tomorrow in VR. I was also playing The Forest. I'm kind of on the fence on what to do next. And I stream 5 days a week. And my stream has been described as a podcast that happens to have gameplay playing in the background. So there's a lot of chatting. 1, 2, 3. So if you like that, then I'm totally the vibe. I'm so old. I'm so old. Oh, man. You're in a place in England where no one can understand what you're saying anyway. Yeah, it's interesting. And I think something we have yet to really see, and it's going to happen, and it's starting to happen already, but it's not full mainstream yet, is you're going to start to see those regional, like, colloquial terms that people use. They're going to start to disappear. Because now you're from the UK. When else would we have ever talked in real life? If it wasn't for social media, when else would we have ever talked? It's harder for younger people to imagine it because they haven't lived in that world. But like, I never spoke to somebody who was from England unless they were immigrants here. I never spoke to anybody from Australia unless they were like related to somebody that I knew and they were just visiting. So hearing like Australian terms or British terms was not common for me. And now I hear them a lot more. So like that word, winging, whinging, however it's said, I had never ever heard that in 35 plus years of being alive. Never heard that word in my life. And now it's something that I've heard, and I've heard it multiple times now because I see British creators, and so I can hear those words. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with language when we all start to speak more commonly, because we will start taking each other's terms and phrases and using them, even though it's not something that was naturally used in our own area. It's pretty cool. You're in the UK too. So many UK people, and I'm streaming pretty late for you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. I am also live on Twitch and TikTok, Roman. So you will hear me talking to people. You may not see the chat, but it's because I'm on 3 platforms right now. But yes, Jumpscares. I have a donation trigger where if somebody donates $6.66, a big loud scream happens in my ear, which then makes me scream and I freak out. I do have it set up so it's not too loud for you guys, but I put it in there just in case because some people don't like jump scares. And so it's kind of like a warning in case you come in and you don't expect it and it happens. And there are some people that their whole goal in life is to torture me. So knowing that it's there to them is kind of intriguing. So that's why I type that. You know what? I need the cobblestone, so I'm just going to dig all the way in. It's nighttime. Yeah, you guys are in the future. In like 40 minutes, you're going to be in tomorrow while I'm still in yesterday. It's only 6:20 for me. I started late today. I normally start a bit earlier, but I started late today because I had to take my car in for an oil change. So I didn't get to start at the time that I normally like to. But yeah, I stream 5 days a week. I've made a little bit of a shift in the schedule. I'm going to finish off this week like usual, but it's looking like I'm probably going to do something along the lines of... I'm thinking I'm going to be streaming Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So that way I can have Wednesday off and I can have Saturday off. which will make my life a little bit easier. And then I can be up earlier for Sundays to do an early stream for everybody that's in Europe, because I have quite a few European viewers, and it's not always easy for them to get up when I have a later stream. But yeah, I stream 5 days a week. That's kind of the plan. And I'm on all 3 platforms, so whatever's more comfortable, obviously you can watch there. I'm Ganyam. Yeah, there are definitely... So, there are parts of England that I don't really hear a giant difference in the accent, but somebody out there would. And there are parts of the UK where I just can't make out at all what they're saying. And there are parts of the UK where the accent difference, I can tell like a couple of regions, but I can't tell certain regions from each other. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know what it's called, but I know there's a region in England that can sound very like Irish. The accent, I mean. I don't know what region it is, but like I couldn't tell the difference if you tell me you're from England and you speak and then somebody from Ireland speaks. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I also know Ireland has a few changes in their own dialects and accents. I couldn't tell you the difference because my ear's just not attuned to it. But it's very similar to like the Canadian accent. A lot of people hear a very generic Canadian accent, but I can hear all the different regions of the Canadian accent, and I can hear like the really, really Canadian accents and the less obvious ones. So for me, I feel like I've been told that it does sound like I'm Canadian, but it's not as harsh as other Canadians are. I have more of an Americanized way of speaking. And that's because I grew up right by the border, but I also learned my English on TV instead of from my parents. So I didn't have that Canadian accent instilled in me. Instead, I grew up listening to the American accent. The Secret Business, that was a good one. I worked my hardest not to fight. I tried to fight as little as possible. Yeah, you guys are in the future. You should have known. You should have told us. Yeah, education system, man. I'm telling you, education system. Seriously. I mean, there are people that argue that Canada is part of the United States, or they'll argue that Mexico is not part of North America. Liverpool. Now, the only thing I think of when I hear Liverpool is like how the Beatles spoke, but I don't even know if that's accurate. I don't even know if that's actually from Liverpool, but I think it's from Liverpool. And it might not even be the proper accent of Liverpool, but just like a stoner accent. You know what I mean? Because like Americans can talk very American, but then when you're talking like a stoner, it's not really that the accent changes, it's just the tongue gets lazier, you know what I mean? And so like for all I know, the Liverpool accent isn't how the Beatles sounded. They were just a bunch of stoners that sounded that way. You know what I mean? They are from Liverpool, okay. But I just don't know if all people from Liverpool talk that way. But it's a big thing that I think a lot of people from Europe in general, not just the UK, but like most of Europe, don't understand. And not like, oh, they're too dumb to get it. It's just they don't understand because that's not how it works over there. There's been a lot of discourse on TikTok in the past about how bad the education system is for Americans and Canadians because we don't know geography. Now, there is definitely some truth to that because Americans can't recognize their own country on a map. So that definitely proves that there is definitely an issue with the geography lessons in the States. At the same time, a lot of people reference the fact that we don't know the difference between certain regions of different countries and stuff. But in defense of that, for us who are older, the reason we don't know that stuff is because when I was a kid, going on a trip on a plane was not a very common thing. It was more common than it even was for my parents, but it was not something that was like you would go to like France for the weekend like people do now. You know, if you were well off or like okay off, you would go on a trip once a year, if anything. But like even for my family, we weren't well off. We were relatively poor. Our trips were to the States, right? So the schooling system had no reason to teach us about like the different regions of the UK. Like up until even last year, I didn't know, and I still can't really tell you the definition of the difference between UK, England, and what's the other one? Great Britain. I can't tell you what the difference is between the three. I know there's a difference. It's very like specific little tiny differences, but they're also interchangeable. But we don't learn that, right? Like we talk about England and Ireland and Scotland, but even then it's very minimal. It's like the old ancient history stuff. But we don't learn that stuff, but it's because we weren't going to be experiencing that stuff. So why would they spend more time teaching us about places we may never see? Whereas when you live in Europe, if you're in England, France is like something you can go do on the weekend. Going to Spain is somewhere you can go on the weekend, right? Like it's not a giant trek. Whereas for us, it's like a 15-hour flight if I want to go to England. So going out there is not something that I can just do for the weekend. So we don't learn that geography, so we don't know those little regional differences. But whenever somebody brings it up, it's like, you guys don't know geography. Most people get super defensive. So they never really think about the logic of like, well, of course we don't, because that wasn't something that we ever had to worry about. The camera shut off. Okay, thank you. It happened. Oh, the camera overheated. Give me a sec here. Come on, turn on the camera. Give me a sec, I just gotta change some settings here. Menu, come on, open up before you overheat again. I changed the settings yesterday and they didn't save. There is the HDMI settings. Now can I change it back to 1080p, please? There it is. Really? I was in the middle of doing the settings and the camera turned off because it overheated while I was doing the settings. So dumb. And because it shut off, it didn't save any of the settings, so I gotta try to do it. Oh, it turned off again. Holy crap, that's not good. It's like turning off immediately. It's not even that hot. Oh no, don't die, don't die. Give me a second here. I'm just giving the camera just like a second to cool down. Okay. The game is going well though, Michael Jackson. I'm just having camera issues and I don't know why. Okay, maybe it's the battery pack I'm using. Maybe it's the battery pack. Give me a sec. I apologize, everybody. Wasn't supposed to happen. I'm just switching the battery pack real quick. Maybe that'll fix it. Oh, I hate this cough. Give me just a minute here. Just a minute. Plug that. That the camera was off near? I didn't because it doesn't like give me any kind of warning. It just shuts off, but I think it's something is wrong with the camera with the battery pack. Because I don't think it's overheating. Because normally when it overheats, it'll give you a warning on screen saying the camera's overheating, will shut off in a minute or whatever. Mind you, I wasn't looking at the display, but right now it kept shutting off. And it wasn't giving me the warning while it was shutting off. So I'm assuming it's the camera and battery pack combination that it's just not able to handle. I don't know if it's the energy to run or I don't really know. So I'm just switching out the battery pack, but I have to like move things around to get that to happen. So just a little patience, please. Just a little patience. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. It's unforgivable. I have hidden my face. How dare I? How dare I? I apologize, everybody. I apologize. I'm still here. Anybody on TikTok? I promise I'm here. I promise. I promise. Okay. So I've moved those things. Unplugged that. I just gotta get under my desk to like get to the connection because I had it plugged into my monitor. I have it plugged into my monitor. I'm wondering if maybe that's causing the issue, so I'm gonna plug it in directly to the wall jack and see if that fixes anything. Where is there an empty wall thingy? Move out of the way, wires! Move out of the way! I'm trying to get stuff done here. Come on. Really? There's only one that's available and it's covered up. Ugh. But I'll unplug that. I'll fix it another time. Unplug this. And plug this in. Sorry, you can't see anything, and I'm sure you could barely hear me as it is. It's dark under my desk, but it's hard for me to see what I'm even doing. Don't start any parties without me, okay? Oh, it doesn't reach, damn it. Come on. Almost done, I promise. Almost there. Almost there, just a bit longer. Ow, my finger. I bet you this sounds like really gross and dirty, or it sounds like I'm nuts right now. Probably sounds like I'm nuts and dirty. I can't even see my chat, so I don't even know what you guys are saying, so I apologize. Okay. I think I made space. Get out of the way, you stupid cable. Finally, holy crap. Let there be light. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. Ugh. Okay. The camera's on. Ugh. A bunch of stuff got reset, so let me try to see if I can get this just to be okay. One last setting. Stop it, I keep pushing the wrong button. Almost, I promise. Power setting is on. HDMI setting. It's still not letting me do the eye focus though. I can't turn on the one setting. I should be able to turn on the camera in just a second here. Deactivate. Activate. Can you see me now? What? You can't. Oh, I didn't plug in the HDMI. That would help. That would help if I actually plugged in the HDMI. Okay. Oh, did the cam link? No, I should be able to deactivate, activate, please, cam link. Okay, the cam link is on. Cool. We're one step further. I am way overexposed, but that's okay. It's okay. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, we're back. Holy crap, that was a huge struggle. Whew. Oh, that was a huge struggle. Oh man, unsubbed. How dare you have stream problems? How dare you? Yeah, Preston, my camera kept shutting off, but I couldn't get it to turn on. It wouldn't stay on. And then it was just not agreeing with me. Like, it was just not allowing me to turn it on. Every time I'd go to turn it on, it would shut itself back off. It was really, really annoying. It was really frustrating. Oh, my white balance is off, I think. Is it off? I don't know. I don't even freaking know. Whatever. We're gonna leave it like this. I'm not even gonna argue with it anymore. Let's just keep going. I should drop a pencil. I don't even have anything to like pretend to pick up. It's gonna turn on and be like, no, actually, there's this I have to fix. Stupid cough, man. Don't get sick, folks. It sucks. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3 stacks of cobblestone. I don't think it's enough, but it might just help us get started anyway. I mean, it could just help us get started. Stream's gonna be done soon anyway. I've been live for only 2 hours? Wow, I really thought I was getting close to 3. Turn on the immunity cheats. You should. Turn those on. Because holy crap, does it ever suck to get sick. Thankfully, I'm not really sick though. So like, honestly, I can't complain because this is like the least sick I've been in a very long time. Every time I've gotten sick over the last few years, it's been like deathly ill. Sorry, I got an email and I'm asking one of my friends about it. Sorry, I got an email from somebody and I wasn't sure if me disregarding the email was just me making a mistake or if I was doing the right thing. So my friend was just confirming that you are right. Be paranoid. I'm so tired of coughing already and it's only just started. Sorry, the Minecraft music and the Spotify music is probably clashing really bad right now. I apologize. You were sick a week back? Oh, gross. Yeah, I haven't been Like I've gotten sick twice this year, I think. And it was because of Nora, you know, a little kid. Little kids catch everything and then they give it to everybody at home. So that's what happened. But this last time I caught it from my brother. He got sick, but he can't take a day off, and him and I worked together. And so it was inevitable I was going to catch it. But I felt sick for like a day and a half. Like to actually feel sick. Now I don't feel sick, but my throat and like lungs are itchy. So I keep coughing. So it's kind of annoying because I feel fine. It's just a little bit stuffy and a stupid cough. But I have an audition. That's what makes it annoying, is I have an audition and I don't want to be sick for my audition, because how am I going to sing when I'm sick? That reminds me, folks, I have a stream tomorrow and the next day. I'm not streaming Thursday like usual. But I am going to be singing my audition piece for all of you, because I want to, like, it's not that I'm singing it for all of you, no offense. It's not that I'm singing it for all of you. It's that Preston, who is a professional actor with much more experience than me in the acting realm, I want to get his opinion on one of the songs. And because I'm still not feeling great, I don't want to risk him coming over and him getting sick in case I'm still sick. And I don't want to record it on my phone because it'll distort and stuff. But I know all my settings are good on this microphone, so I want to sing it when he's around, maybe tomorrow or the next day, to kind of get his opinion on the song. And then hear all of your opinion to see what because I'm torn between two songs, to hear all of your opinion on what you guys think I should pick for the song to audition. You're almost out of the woods. Your nose is still a little bit stuffy. I hate how long that lingers, that little bit. Yeah, I was really worried because I woke up the first day kind of just feeling weird. And there were a couple of days where I was getting dizzy for no reason. I was thinking it was my meds, because I take ADHD medication. And so I thought it was that. I was like, that's really weird that I'm having these side effects. Like, I've been on it for over almost 2 years. I shouldn't be getting side effects now. Then I talked to my doctor and he's like, no, it can't be that, because you wouldn't get side effects at this point. But then a few days later, I started to feel sick, and I was like, oh, there it is. I'm sick. That's what's happening. It's not the ADHD. It's not the meds. It's I'm getting sick. But then once I started to feel sick, the next day I felt worse, and I was like, oh, here we go. Because usually I feel off the first day, then I feel worse the second day, then the third day I feel like death, and that lasts for a couple of days, and then I'm on my way back out. But it was literally, I felt weird, I felt sick, and then I started to feel better. Like, it was so quick. But now the cough kicked in, now that I feel fine. Like, if it wasn't for the cough, I would just be a little bit stuffed. And that was it. Like, I would feel perfectly fine right now. But the cough is screwing with me. And it's just starting. So I'm hoping it's not going to get worse. Because if it gets worse, then I don't know how I'm going to sing. Because even right now, just breathing in is making it hard for me not to cough. So how am I going to sing a note and then take a deep breath to hit the next note and then not cough in the middle of it? I want to make some ladders, because if we're going to climb up, I want to make sure that I have a way to get back down. Make me sick. You want a bunch of days off to play Starfield? Is that what you want, Preston? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Without Me by Eminem, perfect. That'll show off my vocal prowess to all the people that are going to be at the audition. Hold on. Nora just texted me. I just want to show her what I'm doing. Hi, honey. I'm just live streaming right now. I'm playing Minecraft, but I'm playing Java, so you wouldn't be able to join me. But maybe one day we can stream together. But yeah, I'm just playing some Minecraft on stream right now. I've had a good day, though. I'm still sick. I have a little bit of a cough, which isn't fun, but I'm feeling okay. How was your day? I hope that sends to her. I don't know if it will. We'll see. Yeah, you get your firearm first. Could you imagine you sneeze while pulling the trigger and then you shoot the ceiling and then you fail because of that? And it would all be my fault. I started it. Um, that or We Live, We Love, We Lie. The realistic Smurf Cat song. I haven't watched that movie. Nora watched it. Nora liked it. I never watched that movie. Okay, so if I'm going to do it here. Wait, don't I have to be up there and then build even further up? That's, I think, what I have to do. Okay, so how can I do this without dying? That's the important question. You know what? I'll take water. That's what I'll do. I'll take some water. And then I can use a waterfall so I don't die on my way back down. Then I can put ladders to go up. I'll tell her you say hi, though, Preston, when she responds. So that... Oh, I need to build the ladders, too. That's all I got? Oh my gosh, I made so many sticks. All I got is 55 ladders. That's insane. Okay. And then a bucket so I can take some water with me. But yeah, so just don't be caught off guard if all of a sudden it like turns into a musical theater live stream. It's not really going to be a musical theater live stream, but there are going to be a couple of musical theater songs sung once just for to get Preston's opinion. That's pretty much the gist of it. Because I don't want people to come here and be like, why is he singing? Is he like trying to show off? And it's like, no, man, I have an audition and I'm old and nervous and I need somebody to like, make me feel better by helping me pick a good song. Okay, let's do this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 4, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. What level am I at? 174. What is the high? The build limit is like 215 or something, isn't it? Sorry, I sent Nora the message, but she can't see the video. She'd have to use it on her tablet, but for some reason, iPhone has combined her phone number and her tablet account, and so it didn't send to her tablet, it sent to her phone. So she couldn't see the video. I'll take a picture though so she can see at least. Hello, Nancy Thomas. How are you? Is it 320? Is it that high? Wow. Wow. I thought it was like 2 something. I thought it was like 230 or something like that, or 2 something. Okay, cool. I can keep going higher then. Perfect. I lost count. I think it was 80 that I was at. I don't know. How many more? Oh, I'm almost out. I'm not even going to be able to build anything because I'm going to run out before I get up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Okay. That should be about 120 blocks up. This should be far enough to give me some mob spawning, kind of. And then from here, this will be my platform. So my ladder will go there. This will be my platform. For those who don't play Minecraft, oh, I muted the music, sorry. For those who don't play Minecraft, I am building a mob spawner. And so basically this will force enemies to spawn, and I will get them to die so I can get experience, but I can also pick up their stuff. So like they'll drop things like string, some of them will drop iron, which will make it easier for me to get strong. Now this, what I'm building, to give you a bit of a breakdown, this brings me up high enough so anything that would randomly spawn within the world is not going to really spawn because I'm a bit too far away. And this is the platform I'm going to stand on to like collect all my experience and stuff. From here, I actually have to build up a little bit higher. So they'll spawn above me and then they'll fall down and get damaged. And through the damage, I can just hit them and get the experience with one hit instead of having to beat them up. And it'll also allow me to eventually put down like some bonfires and they can just land in that, burn and die, and then I still get all their stuff without having to need the experience. So there's a couple of options that I can do. That's what I'm building here, is going up high to make sure that we don't get too many mobs spawning. Because the way Minecraft works, for those who don't play Minecraft, the mobs spawn at a certain distance from you, and there's a limit to how many can spawn in the area that you're in. So by being really far away from anywhere that they can spawn, I up the amount that will spawn wherever I'm standing. All right, Nier. Don't forget to blow your nose when you cry. Don't let the boogers get everywhere. Got to keep yourself from getting sick again. Okay. So if my ladder is here, and I come up, and then I'll stand here, and the mobs will be there. So for now, I'm just going to put these bricks down because I wasn't smart enough to bring slabs. And we're going to, I think it should be just 4, shouldn't it? So this will be where the mobs will land. Eventually, I'll build a whole like thing with hoppers into a treasure chest so I can like pick up the stuff without having to actually like walk around. But that for now, this will work. And then we start building up to go higher. For now, just so nothing spawns while we're working. Okay. So this will be our platform to go up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be there. Then we go 1, 2. Oh, actually, I need to. Yeah, no, that's fine. 1. Do I need the corners? For now, I'll do the corners just because it's going to be hard and I can fall off and I don't want that to happen. Okay, so we need to go up. I think it's 14 blocks, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five, 6, 7, 8. This is what makes Minecraft fun for me. Doing these buildings, it's so slow and tedious, but I can do it without thinking and just play for hours doing this and never feel like I've been playing for hours. It feels like I've just been playing for a few minutes. Next thing I know, it's like 8 hours later and all I've done is build one mob farm. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11. This is the only downside, is you run out of materials so quickly. I should have saved the cobblestone for the platform, but that's fine. This doesn't really matter how pretty it looks because it's just a tunnel for them to fall down. 11, 12, 13, 14. And now this is where the mobs will fall. So again, for those who don't play Minecraft, the idea is I'm going to set it up here so the mobs will spawn and they will fall into like a little river, and the river will push them into this hole. And then from this hole, they will fall down. And when they land down there, they're going to take just enough damage that it doesn't kill them, but enough that when I hit them, they die instantly, allowing me to get a whole bunch of XP without doing a whole bunch of work. Now, the problem is, for some reason, the water reacts badly if you change the materials you're using. So I'm going to need to go get cobblestone. Oh no, I did. I thought I came up here without any water. But then you build a really big platform for them to spawn on, and then they all get attracted to the water and then fall down, and then from there they go down there, and that's it. Like, that's pretty much what we're doing. So it's it's a big time spend, but it's so worth it, because then all of a sudden you're able to level up without having to like spend a bunch of time. Which is so nice. See, and now I can go down. Uh-oh. The water didn't go all the way down because I stopped it before it did. See, now I can go down, and I don't have to worry about falling and dying because the water is bringing me down like an elevator. It's great. Badman Warzone, how you doing? Welcome. Oh, look at the mobs. Look at all the mobs. Look at them. So these guys will spawn up there instead. And then they'll all go into the water and they'll all die. And it'll be wonderful because I'll get a bunch of equipment. And like just some basic... Whoa, the water. Okay. Just some basic stuff to make my life a little bit easier. Go, 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 go. This is hardcore. I'm gonna die. Oh god. Go in my house. Go in my house. Go in my house. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're safe. I wasn't panicking. I don't know why you guys panicked. I had it under control all along. Okay, so I think that's what we're gonna do next time. I've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do next stream. We're gonna go up there. First, I'm gonna go down and collect a bunch of deep slate, so that way I'll have supplies, and then we'll go up there and build the platform and the ceiling so it's in the dark. That's the other key point, is it has to be in the dark because, as you can hear, they catch fire in the light and they don't spawn in the light. So you gotta build a roof so it's dark and they'll spawn in there. So we'll go and do that. We'll bring water with us, and that will lead to our mob spawner. And then all I would have to do is climb a ladder to get up there, and we can start leveling up and stuff. Oh god! No! Oh no! Thank god there's like nobody watching right now. For those who don't know, I was playing in hardcore mode. No! Oh man, there goes that world. 3 days of work, done. 3 days of work. Look, it's gone. If I go in here, it's gone, right? Game over. That's it. I can only spectate. I can't actually do anything. The world is gone. It's over. Our world is dead. All that work. All that work. Look at that. It's over. Oh, man, that's so disappointing. Well, that's it. We lasted like 3 days. Because I screwed up. I knew it, and I called it. Because how many times did I say, for anybody who comes back and watches this, I said it many, many times, that I knew that my biggest fear was that I would be doing something and all I would hear would be and it would be over. And that's exactly what happened. Literally what happened. Disappointing. That's okay. We didn't do a whole bunch. I mean, we just 3 days worth that's gone, but that's okay. That's okay. It was fun anyway. I still don't even know if I want to continue with Minecraft anyway, because as we can see, only 3 people watching on Twitch, only 3 people watching on TikTok. Not exactly, or YouTube and TikTok. Not exactly the most compelling for people to come watch. So I get more viewers doing the forest. So this may be where we call it for now. I might just play it on my own. Yeah, Preston, that's what happens. That's why hardcore is something special, because it's risk reward. It's risk reward. You do things and your whole level gets destroyed, and then all of a sudden it wasn't worth it. When you're playing normally, you do things, you die, you just respawn and you continue like nothing happened. But that was not the case today. That was not the case. We lost everything. It is a lot more calming. I do like, that's why I was playing it, because I was like, it's calm, it's relaxed, people can kind of just chat with me or whatever. But nobody watches. When I'm playing something like The Forest, which I beat, so I'm not going to be playing that for a while. But when I play something like The Forest, people, it's still calming enough that we can chat and relax, but there's something going on that makes people always kind of feel on edge. Whereas Minecraft, that is always the possibility, so I'm always on edge, but nobody else feels it because it's just Minecraft. So it's kind of it's a really weird outcome. I didn't expect it to be like that, because like I've said this before, I've shown it before. The reason I chose it is because I'm trying to pick something that I think will do well for me, but will also be worthwhile for people to watch. That I'll still enjoy. That's the big thing. I still want to enjoy it, but I want it to do okay, right? And like if I look up Subnautica right now, there are... Why can't I see how many people are actually watching it right now? I normally can. 3,000 people watching Subnautica right now, right? But then if I do The Forest, which is what I have been playing, there are 139 people watching. But when I play The Forest, I had average 10 viewers watching me. And Subnautica is 1,000, so it's even better. But then I go to Minecraft, and Minecraft has, that's how many followers in general. How many are watching right now? Minecraft has 93,000 people watching them. So my thinking was, that's a really big pool. So there's a better chance people will run into me and want to hang out. But nobody comes. Nobody watches. So like it's not giving me the opportunity to have people stumble across my channel. Whereas something really niche like The Forest with only like less than 150 people, more people have stumbled across and hung out. So like it's a really weird turnout, but I understand. You know, I'm not doing a cartoony thing. I'm not doing some crazy challenge. I'm not playing with a bunch of other people to make things goofy. So it's definitely not my strength for what I'm doing anyway. So it's kind of a bummer. So I'm kind of on the fence on whether or not I should continue with Minecraft. Like I might do something, because I've also been on the fence about, I want to choose like 2 games that I play all the time and then have a 3rd game that I kind of do on the casual day and just play whatever I want on that casual day. So maybe I'll do Minecraft as my casual game, and then Resident Evil and whatever else I play as my more consistent game for the time being. So maybe I'll do some Subnautica. So we'll do like Subnautica and Resident Evil 4 times, like 2 times each. And then the one day I do Minecraft to just kind of chill out and not have any pressure. I can't believe I lost my world already. Damn, that was so quick. That was so quick and disheartening, to say the least. The worst part is how disheartening that was. I didn't expect that at all. I thought I was going to at least be able to get to like making some villagers and my mob spawner and, you know, then have something to lose. But all I did was build a house and a farm, like a cow pen. Damn, that's heartbreaking. Oh, well. But that's fine. We've been live for 2.5 hours. I want it to be live for about 2 to 3. So 2.5 is a nice medium there. I have to go make some food. I didn't tell you all. I told Preston. I didn't tell anybody else, though. Really upset about it. I was making soup yesterday. My eye tracking's still not working. It should be, but it's not. I was making soup yesterday, and the soup burnt. And I have a huge, huge pot of soup now that tastes like salt water and cigarettes. It's really disappointing, because right before it burnt, it tasted amazing. But I wanted to add rice to it because I wanted something else to kind of like enrich it because it was all veggies and meat, but I was like, I don't feel like that's going to be satisfying when I eat it. So I want to put some rice in it. So I put the rice in and I set a timer and I was like, that's cool. The timer goes off. I go back and I check it and the rice is still undercooked. And I'm like, okay, because I normally cook the rice separately and just dump it in, but I didn't have any rice that was cooked separately. So I was like, I'll put in raw rice and let it cook in the soup and it'll absorb the soup flavor. That'll be great. And I was like, all right, I'll leave it for a couple more minutes. And then I sat down and started playing Starfield. And 2 minutes, and it wasn't even long. 2 minutes turned into 5, and in those 5 minutes it burnt. And so I was like, crap. So like I dumped all the soup into another bowl, like a big bowl, hoping that if by adding water and a few spices it would kind of dilute the flavor. It didn't. It tasted just like cigarette smoke. I did read that if you add some sugar, it helps kind of ruin the smoke flavor. So I'm going to try putting some sugar in and see if that helps. And if it doesn't, I just have to throw it out. But that's really, really heartbreaking. I've had a bad 24 hours, folks. My soup burnt, and I ruined my Minecraft hardcore world. Oh, well. That is life. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. We will continue with Resident Evil 8 tomorrow in VR. So if you want to come hang out, please feel free. If you are on TikTok, I cannot see the chat. If you are on YouTube and Twitch, I can. I can't see it, but I can hear it. So please, if you're on TikTok and you feel like coming and you want to chat, feel free to come to Twitch or YouTube, and that's where I'll be able to respond to you. If not, I won't be able to respond to you tomorrow. And we'll check out Heisenberg tomorrow. I'm really excited. But that's it. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I'm sorry that the hardcore world died so quickly, but hey, at least you got to see what the damage was. All right, everybody, have yourselves a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.